Down inside the buck chutes, we've got cowboys getting ready. Saddle bronc riding coming up right now. This is where it all began. The cowboy that couldn't be throwed and the horse that couldn't be rode. We're going to put a saddle on the back of the horse, and we're looking at Jim Barry right there, I think. Pride and Joy of Rocky Mountain House, 8th in the Canadian standings. Mucho Dinero is the horse from Full Rodeo today.
I'll tell you what, I love this bucking horse, Mucho Dinero. I've seen him 3 or 4 times, and he's been throwing a lot of guys off. Jim Barry is one of the toughest guys in Canada to throw off. As Jim Barry from Rocky Mountain House, of course, won the Guy Weedick Award, and very deservedly so, I think, at the Calgary Stampede. Indicative of the kind of person he is, in addition to being a great rodeo athlete. Jim Barry just did an outstanding job right there on Mucho Dinero. Not an easy horse to ride. Jim got it done. Now, he came in here at 77 3/4 on his first one. Let's find out how he fared in the eyes of our officials.
He'll be back to us in just a moment. The neat thing about Jim Barry is no matter how much trouble he gets in, the cowboy never quits spurring. Today we'll add 84 to his previous score of 77.75. I'm not sure about the math.
81, I think, was the score there.
Was
actually,
it?
Doug,
Right.
81, so 158 3/4 for Jim. All right, let's go to Clinton Cox, and we talked about Lunatic Party. Watch this horse, and this is another one that has been absolutely sensational in all of our Road to the CFR telecasts. We've seen him there. I've seen him a whole lot. I think they won 1st and 3rd at Airdrie, for example, over the July 1st long weekend before we rushed up to Ponoka for our Road to the CFR telecast. So watch this. This could be one of those career-defining moments when you talk about a young kid right here, Clinton Cox, getting ready on Lunatic Party. Outlaw Bucker's outstanding horse.
Well, Clinton knows how to react to pressure. He's a 2-time Canadian intercollegiate champion in the saddle bronc riding. I've watched this young man grow up. He is a neat kid. He's got probably some of the fastest feet in the world of professional rodeo right now. This young man really spurs a bucking horse. He'll come down off a few, but he takes it to him 100%. This is a big, solid paint horse from Outlaw Buckers. Uh-oh, outside.
All right, Clinton, come on now. We talked about how tough this horse is to ride, and that horse loosened him up at about 3-4 seconds, bucked him off, and I'll tell you, that horse had pretty much the standard Lunatic Party day right there. That is such a tough horse to ride, and got Clinton Cox. That's a tough break for a good cowboy. Not going to be able to get it done today at Strathmore. No score for the young man.
Oh, we could see the evident strength of that horse as Clinton's head kind of got to bobbing a little bit. Lost track of the front end of the horse. He knew he was in trouble. He kind of stepped off of there. We're going to hear a lot from that young man in the world of professional rodeo. He is not pleased about what's happened today.
Well, you know, you come to Strathmore and you are so excited about what might happen and what you hope is going to happen, and then it just didn't work out for him on this particular day. Well, Clay Creasy's going to be next now from Brownfield, Alberta. Mad Money, it's all about the money. 80 3/4 is what Clay comes in here with to start his day.
It's all about the schoolmaster right here and a champion of intercollegiate rodeo in Canada. Mad Money has been to both the Canadian Finals Rodeo and the Wrangler National Finals. Clay Creasy keeps a book about bucking horses. He knows what he's got today. Let's watch him ride. Look for the lift on the rein. That's about the right amount of rein on this horse. Looks good.
Boy, I tell you, I like what Clay is doing right here. The young school-teaching bronc rider, just a good guy, and I thought he made an excellent performance right there. Did Clay Creasy on Mad Money. All about the money. Let's watch this Calgary Stampede bucking horse. They have won a lot of money on the back of this very, very fine gelding from the Calgary Stampede. And watch this as Clay Creasy does a nice job. Give him 81.5 to go with his 80.75 earlier. 161 and a quarter. 162 and a quarter. 162. Dean Langell, our producer, did you notice he can't add? Did you notice that? All right,
look at this.
Whoa! Yikes! That was your guy, Dusty Haase, Dickinson, North Dakota. Remember, we saw him last week in the Wild Ride at Medicine Hat, and he is a wild rider. Unfortunately, the former Canadian champion met up with, well, Get Smart. And what can you say about a horse that's been the horse of the finals, the horse of Calgary, the horse of Canada, and Get Smart does what Get Smart does, gets him in trouble early. That Northcott horse is a superstar.
You know, I always think of Get Smart a little bit like Seabiscuit down in there. He's a small, kind of ordinary-looking little bay horse, and you'd walk by him in the pens. The rest of the Saddle Bronc horses look big and tough, but Get Smart just kind of stands in the corner, looks unassuming, but watch him when he gets in the arena. He annihilated Dusty Haase today. Wow.
Well, Sam Celts has got timely delivery. Now, we talked about this matchup and this breeding earlier on when we talked about graded coconut and zippy delivery. As Sam Celts is putting together some awfully good performances of late. He's sitting 5th in Canada and is not out of the hunt in terms of a world berth. We talk about the finals at Las Vegas come December. I'd love to see him there. Of course, his dad, Jim, a former Canadian champion. This is a nice matchup. He comes in with 81 points, timely delivery. Will Buck for the Calgary
It's in the
Stampede.
genes for the Cowboy and the bucking horse. Sam has got everything set down there now. Let's move the horse over a little bit. Let's get those toes turned out. We've seen some great markouts today from Cowboys so far, and Saddle Bronc riders will tell you that's what sets up the good rides. You can see our pickup man's horse right alongside to help settle the horse down inside the buck chute. Sam says, I'm ready. Turn me out of here, I want to be a champion. That's not a good start. I think they might have free-rolled him at the front end. He might have an opportunity to have missed the horse out today and still turn in a qualified score. Looks good.
And you made a good call right there, Doug, because when that horse does that and kind of stutter steps out of there and kind of almost fouled the Cowboy a little bit, and what happens is those officials have the option of waiving that spur out rule, and I think they probably did so there. Said, you got a free roll, Cowboy. You can come out, miss that horse out. We're still going to mark you because that wasn't really fair on the part of the horse, that first jump right off the bat. So let's see if we can get a score coming in for Sam Celts. So give him 80 points to go with the earlier 81. Give him 161 on 2 for Sam Celts. All right.
That's not going to jump him up to the top side, but that's a good performance on that horse today. Outside, look at this.
Well, that's Court Shearer. There's your $100,000 champion at Calgary, and that's Pedro, bucking horse of Canada, and an outstanding combination right there. Court Shearer, the last 5 or 6 weeks, is maybe riding as good as anybody on the planet. He has been sensational, and what a very good time to get hot. Over Cowboy Christmas, you talk about the Calgary Stampede, little $100,000 check for that guy, and he's kept it going ever since.
And to have a horse like Pedro on a day like today is a little bit like winning the lottery. 85.5.
Well, and to go with his earlier 81.75, that's going to put him at about, my goodness, 167.25. All right.
That's right.
So nice job for Court. He's now taken over the lead with Ryan McKenzie readying himself, the Jordan Valley Oregon man, as he gets set. Dark Side, Northcott horse. This is a horse that kind of flies under the radar just a little bit. Not one of those celebrated horses that you hear a lot about, but this is an awfully good saddle bronc.
This is a bucking horse stallion that's going to be used in the breeding program of raising bucking horses at the Northcott Ranch. This horse has been to the National Finals Rodeo, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and the Canadian Finals.
Oh, man, that horse really threw a couple of early moves at Ryan McKenzie, and good on him to stay with that horse. I'll tell you what, Ryan McKenzie showed us a little something. We've watched him before. He's been to our Canadian Finals and was en route to another one and then got hurt out there at Armstrong one year. But I'll tell you, this is a very, very good Cowboy. And we saw him navigate that. Now, 83.25 is what he comes in at. So 84 would tie him for the lead. Anything over 84 would take him to the lead. Let's see what we're going to do right here for our Cowboy. That's a nice effort right there. He's still got that good spur lick going, Doug.
Wow, that would have thrown a lot of Cowboys off right there. He's from a Cowboy part of the world. He's raised out in the ranch country in Oregon, and you can see that. He's been on a lot of horses. He knew that was coming.
So he comes in at 82 3/4, going to give him about 166 even on 2, so just a little out of the lead in second spot. But how about Chuck Schmidt? Here's another guy who's got the hot hand, loves our Road to the CFR rodeos.
One Medicine Hat last weekend, and look at the horse.
Well, the horse is the one that we won another of our Road to the CFR events a little earlier on out there at Wainwright, but today kind of eclipsed that cowboy right there. Chuck Schmidt doesn't buck off a whole lot, certainly hasn't in 2013. He's just a young gun who we're going to hear a lot from.
Well, Wayne Vold is very, very proud of that horse. He raised that horse. You know all about that, Dave. You're perhaps just a little bit more proud of the horses that you raise. That's a bucking horse right there.
Oh, did he have a tough day. I mean, that horse was almost unrideable today. Chuck did all he could, just couldn't get it done.
And that's Wayne Vold right there, just reaches out and taps him on the back and says, "Cowboy, you did your best today. Don't be hanging your head for coming down off of that one."
Well, as we get ready for Tyler Corrington of Hastings, Minnesota, I think 3 words describe this cowboy, Doug. Future world champion, because he is #1 in Canada, #1 in the world. The future might be now, because he's got Lynx Mountain here at Strathmore. That's a bucking horse of Canada as well. This could be a cool matchup. He comes in with only 79 points. He's going to have to be a bunch, but don't bet against him being a bunch.
Oh, he's got fast feet, and you need him today. Whoa. Let's go, cowboy. Oh, this looks picture perfect. Do we have enough horse? Let's see.
Well, the mare kind of slowed it down over the last couple of jumps right there. And I don't know if she just kind of threw herself off with that big rear out a little bit. And it went very well for about 5 seconds. But you're going to watch the kick, and the jump is going to kind of just disappear long about the 6-second mark. Now, right there, everything's going good. Horse doing good. But right now, watch right here. She's going to kind of quit. She's going to say, that's enough for me today. That's not going to work. So he's going to get a re-ride is what's going to happen right now.
Oh, yeah. Our judges have the latitude to do that. The Cowboys should have a shot at least up to the average shot of the other Cowboys, and perhaps that degree of skill was not there today. We know what our re-ride horses are. We drew those today in case something unforeseen happened. We'll see him back later in the performance of Rodeo. Now, he's got to hurry. He's got to saddle, and he's got to go back there and get. Probably he's going to have to change the length of the girths on the saddle. He's going to be very, very busy. Here comes the guy that's leading it all right now, David.
Well, Dustin Flandreau, and I talked about it at the outset. We chatted before the day, and I said, how did it go previously on this horse? Well, he said, it really hasn't gone at all because I've never been on him before. But quitting time from the Outlaw Buckers is going to be absolutely a sensational matchup right here. Don't bet against this guy because he comes in here with 84 points. So let's watch right now.
Now, the Outlaw Bucker Cowboys raised a lot of their bucking horses, but they actually purchased this one at the National Finals Bucking Horse Sale. And they are very, very astute bucking horse buyers. They do not buy the worst horses. They always buy the best they can lay their hands on. So this horse comes with reputation right here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like this matchup. And Dustin Flandreau, one of the real cool guys, of course, a 3 times Canadian champion, as you see him very carefully measuring that bronc rein. Now, the measurement on that bronc rein, we haven't talked about it today, but that's very, very important. You take too short a rein, get pulled down over the head of the horse, depending on the way the horse carries its head. Too long a rein, you go out the back door. Neither of those are a good thing.
And that's not much more than an educated guess right there. And we can see Cowboys sometimes will adjust outside. We can see them slide horses a bit of rein, but it's very tough to try and get it shorter. Yeah, that's Canadian Championship style right there.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Dustin Flandreau. I hope you had your cameras ready at Strathmore, because that was picture perfect right there.
Oh, was it ever. The measurement of the rein was right. What a start out of the buck chute. Watch this.
But let's watch it again, because I love what he does with his feet. As he gets, there's the spur lick starting right there, and he is so solid. Look at that. Toes turned out. That is how they diagram it in the how-to manual right there. Dustin Flandreau, awfully, awfully good. How about 87 points, 171 on 2 for Dustin Flandreau in the driver's seat. Now, remember, we've got one more guy coming back because we've got that re-ride as he gets ready right now. So Tyler Corrington, sitting #1 in the world, #1 in Canada, and getting ready on Sweet Dreams down there. So as we talked about, he's got to really hurry.
Oh, boy.
It was just a few seconds ago. Now you think about that. How about the physical aspect of this? That's a workout. Making a ride on a bucking horse like we saw just a moment ago, and now you got to turn around and with virtually no rest and no chance to recover, you got to get on another.
Oh boy, and you know, this cowboy has driven so many miles to get here, so many hours to get here, and it's all over in 8 seconds. Now, he's done the best that he can do to get that saddle set on the back of this horse. He may or may not have seen this horse go before, but he's probably already talked to Wayne Vold about how much rein to give this horse. Of course, Wayne Vold is a Canadian champion, and whatever he tells you, you can take to the bank.
Well, and Tyler Corrington's coming in with a 79, so he's going to have to be 92 points to tie for the lead, 92 or better to get to the lead. But I'll tell you what, anytime you run the kind of horses in with the kind of talent getting on those horses that we have at Strathmore, 92 is not unheard of.
No, probability and possibility are two different things right here. And certainly it is very, very possible that this cowboy could turn in a 92-point ride. Now, he's taking a bit of extra time. He's reached across. He's doing up that outside girth on that horse right now. Just tucking his latigos back in. That's the strap they do it up tight with. The other cowboys are standing alongside, giving him the last couple of minutes of instruction on how to handle this horse. There's a great view of that association saddle. No saddle horn on that, David, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, these are association saddles, is what they're called, designed and constructed specifically for this event. And this, of course, I think this is maybe the daddy of them all when you talk about rodeo events, the thing that kind of got it all started way, way back when out on the ranches, people would say, my guy's better than your guy at breaking horses. Let's have a little contest.
That's exactly right. The stirrups are a little further forward on this type of saddle. They hang a little bit differently than they do on most Western or even English-style saddles. That's to facilitate that spurring stroke. Now, the heels of those boots need to be out over the points of that horse's shoulders, and here comes the measurement of the rein right now. That's what that cowboy's doing.
Well, there's that measurement of the Bronc rein that we talked about. Now he's going to climb down onto that saddle and get ready. So Tyler Corrington, Sweet Dreams, Minnesota. Don't see a whole lot of Minnesota guys, but I'll tell you what, this is a good one right here.
We hope he's in shape. As you said, this is a workout. Let's ride. Sweet Dreams.
Oh my, look at that sharp turn to the right and another one. This is not an easy day at the office for the cowboy. Boy, I'll tell you, almost unfair for the guy to have to get on one horse, and then for your second horse, you got Sweet Dreams. There was nothing sweet about that dream.
Wow. Out of there, we make it out about 2, and then we've got a corner coming.
Oh, man, I mean, Alaman right, and then around the other way. Oh, my. Well, it looks like Dustin Flandreau unofficially going to be our titleist